Hey friends, welcome back to another video on my channel. This is Sho, and today I'm going to talk about the reality of study abroad, specifically to England. But I'm going to talk about something related to my experience, my own experiences, but I'm pretty sure that it can be applicable to study abroad to other universities or other countries like the US or Australia or whatsoever. So yeah, I hope you're going to enjoy it. And this video is going to be really chill. Like, I've got no scripts prepared or whatsoever. So please just listen casually, like a conversation that we have in a cafe or something. I am currently studying in one of the universities in England, actually in London. But I'm currently based in Japan, and I'm planning to go back to England to attend my graduation ceremony next month, so I'm quite looking forward to it. But I've been posting like videos and other contents on social media like YouTube, like this, about study abroad and English learning and exams prep, and I've got like a lot of comments related to this, and because I only upload something like very fun or enjoyable, so it might look like, oh, this guy's having like a lot of fun in the UK, but it's actually not. Well, I mean, it was fun, it was definitely a fulfilling experience, but the reality is not always fun. I've got a lot of challenges and I've got a lot of hardships. So today I want to talk about the reality, like real life experiences that I had. So it's going to be experience specifically in London and in business school, but as I mentioned, I'm pretty sure that it's going to be applicable, it's going to be useful for someone who's thinking about study abroad to other universities or other countries as well. So yeah, let's dive in. So basically, I think there are two types of study abroads. Either you go to the different country to study as an exchange student, or full-time like actual student, and I was a latter. I also had the study abroad exchange student partnership to the University of Manchester when I was studying in undergrad, but it was actually online because of COVID. But I do have the both experiences, so I can probably compare the differences or yeah, kind of things in the video as well. So basically, in my opinion, studying as an exchange student is a bit more chill. Like, if you fail the class, for example, you don't necessarily need to work like really hard to compensate that. Like, in many cases, for example, in my case, my GPA, my undergrad, doesn't affect at all, even if I fail the class that I was taking as an exchange student. But when it comes to like the actual full-time student, if you fail the class, it matters. You might have trouble graduating, or you might have trouble getting a good job or whatsoever. So you have to like work hard to some extent to keep your grade as high as possible, basically. And that was hard. That was really hard because, okay, so for someone who doesn't know, in the UK we only have 1 year for our masters, so it's very intense. Normally in Japan or in the US or in many other countries, master's degree normally have 2 years, and this makes a lot of difference. Of course, you can cut costs and you can just like, intensely learn theories and everything, but it's just so intense. And in my case, I was also applying for the jobs at the same time. So in the first like September, it started from September, but September, October and November was like the first 3 months, my schedule was like absolutely crazy. It was like, I have no idea even now how I managed to keep up on that kind of schedule. But basically, I attended like one of the career forums in Boston. For someone who already knows this, it's called Boston Career Forum. But basically, it's kind of like a forum that all international students can attend, and I got a job from that event, and it was in November. So after you actually started master's degree, in 2 months you're gonna have that big event, and obviously it's not gonna be like one-time interview kind of thing. You have to prepare in advance, and obviously you have to like go through a bunch of interviews or group discussions kind of thing beforehand. So it actually started in July or August or something, so even like before I properly started studying abroad. And what happened was like, because of this time difference, I'm pretty sure that they have like, because of this time difference, I'm not sure how much time difference we have between the UK and Boston. 5 hours. 5 hours. Boston is 5 hours behind of London. Okay. Well, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it matters a lot. Because what happened to me, for example, was like, one of the group discussion I had started at 11 p.m. in London time, and it finished at 7 a.m. So like I needed to go through all the discussions and group work kind of thing throughout the night, and I took like an hour or 2 hours nap, and then I went to the school. This kind of schedule was like very common, and because of this like bloody time difference, I needed to wake up like crazily early, like 3 or 4 a.m. and prepare for the interview and take the interview. And also like in many cases you have to prepare for the group discussion and all this kind of thing in advance, because another problem was English. And at that time, like my English was okay. I had no trouble having like daily conversations, so it was okay. But the students around me was literally from all over the places around the world, and the educations they've taken was like completely different from that of Japan. I was born and raised in Japan, so I think Japanese education, of course it's changing, but it's kind of like more passive style, so it doesn't have a lot of discussions. I did have the opportunity to join the discussions and share my opinions in my undergrad, but it was like a next level. So everyone was like super fluent in English, obviously, and they have like absolutely no hesitation sharing their opinions and interrupt what they are saying. And then they were like, no, this is true kind of thing. So I freaked out completely in the beginning, and yeah, it was really tough. But as I managed to adjust it, like it was okay in the end. I prepared for the class a lot, and I tried to talk about what I needed to do in English like straightforwardly. But for those who's interested in this experience more, like I've got note article, so please feel free to check it out. I'm gonna put the link on the description box. But yeah, so yeah, because of this, like English was definitely my problem, and the discussion and group work was also definitely a problem, and also like keeping up with all these job interviews and yeah, application processes was also really hard, and all these time differences made these application processes even harder. So yeah, it was hard. But what I wanted to say was like, it's definitely worth trying. It was definitely not as easy as I expected, so you might have the same experiences and the same challenges, but definitely like I think it's worth trying. And when it comes to English improvement or personal growth, like I've experienced both of this a lot throughout this 1 year. So it was, although it was intense, it was definitely fulfilling and worth doing. So that was definitely the reality. One of the, like, I wouldn't say a dark side, but challenging side of this study abroad experiences. And as I said, like, I've been posting something like fun, enjoyable on social media. So you might have like this kind of stereotype that, okay, I'm always having fun, but it's not. Like, I've been studying like really hard pretty much every day, so it was very intense. So basically the main challenges were English and job applications. from now I'm gonna probably talk about like how I overcame it, kind of. I hope that I overcame it. I can say that. Yeah, I probably can say it. But anyway, so I think the things that you should keep in mind before study abroad and after study abroad are different. So when it comes to before studying abroad, study English, like improve your bloody English as much as possible. For example, I've got ACAN 1 grade, ACAN first grade, and IELTS overall 7.5 before I studied abroad, but it was absolutely not sufficient. It was nothing at all. So you can't prepare enough in terms of this area. So I think no matter how much you study, how much you prepare to improve your English, you're gonna face this language challenge unless your first or native tongue is English. Like if you have absolutely no problems communicating or just, having a really complicated discussions in English, that's fine. But a lot of people in Japan are not like me. I was born and raised in Japan, so English was my second language and I needed to improve it. Although I did, it was not enough. So I think before you actually study abroad, you want to devote like quite a lot of time improving your English to, make your experience in study abroad fulfilling. And when it comes to after that, after you study abroad, forget about it. Forget about your English. It sounds like I'm saying something really contradicting, but basically, like, you have to have a confidence and you have to articulate your thoughts and opinions in English anyway. And after you started study abroad, like if you hesitate to share your opinions or having daily conversations or making friends because of English, that's complete waste. Like you don't want to do it. So of course you can't improve. Like you can't have a perfect English before you study abroad, but after that, like you want to have kind of like this mindset that, okay, I'm gonna contribute to the discussions, I'm gonna make friends, I'm gonna like enjoy this bloody study abroad experiences as much as I can, no matter how shit my English is. And that's kind of mentality that I needed to gain, and I did. And it made all the differences. So I think what you really want to do after you study abroad is, like, of course you're gonna make a lot of mistakes in terms of your grammar, vocabulary, or whatsoever in your English, but you don't have to give a shit about it. Like, you know what I mean? It's just the mindset to contribute to the discussions or enjoy the study abroad experiences itself is, I think, more important than your English after you started studying abroad. But before, I think you want to like improve as much as you can. But yeah, I hope it makes sense. And it's just challenging experiences, as I mentioned, but it's definitely worth doing. I've got absolutely no idea how many times I'm gonna say worth doing, but yeah, it's good. So for someone who's thinking about studying abroad, or who's like, thinking about having a global career or something, I hope it's helpful. So it was another very chill video about study abroad exchange, my personal experiences that I had in the UK. So definitely follow me on social media and subscribe it. Thanks for all of you. I recently hit 3K. It matters a lot. Thank you so much. And I'm gonna keep posting something really useful about English study abroad, or exam preparation. So definitely subscribe and follow me on other social medias. And thank you so much. Please leave me a comment if you have another requests on the future videos. I've actually received a lot of comments about this, so it might take time to make the comments relevant, but I'll definitely do my best to keep up on those requests. So definitely stay tuned, and thank you so much. I'm gonna see you guys soon. Cheers.